title, you're in the wrong one. Though it might, it could mean it's small enough of a group, it could become that, I don't know. And technically I have you guys for as long as you are so willing to listen to me. So congratulations. You get the Truman Show, the little more ego.
I mean, I would have done the fetishes, but I didn't want to know about clopping.
You sound like you already do.
I have a shady panel tonight. You guys go. I like this group. You guys can stay. So welcome to Fandoms 101. It's a weird title because it really is meant to be a bit of a shallow dive because you're supposed to read the other part. And it's a guide to being a practical fan. Here's the thing. I love being a fangirl. I absolutely love it. I think it's the greatest thing in the history of the world. But I wanted to create something because being a fan, and fanboys, I do love fanboys as well. But being a fan is like hard. It's really difficult, and like organizing all of like our fan stuff makes it difficult to exist in a world that is increasingly not fan. Like, as cool as people pretend to be with like Marvel movies, you can't come to work dressed like Loki. No one's cool with that. Like, unless you work in a game store or a comic shop. Like, you can't go to the office like dressed like Lady Thor. It's like, but you said you saw Guardians of the Galaxy with your wife and kids. That does not justify what you're doing. But yes, we did see that movie and Chris Pratt is very hot. So this is a practical guide to being a fan because, unfortunately, we cannot be just fans all the time. We do have to have jobs and school because otherwise we can't afford to do this unless you volunteer or you panel. And then you can. But not everyone can do that. Yay! So, I'm super cool with questions. I'm super cool with recording. Hi! Like, mega cool with all that stuff. There will be links to tag everything properly, because that's my only requirement. If you do record and all that stuff, just tag me. I have a tiny, tiny ego. It's giant. So totally necessary disclaimer, I hate that we're in 2015, I still have to do this, but I do not own any of the characters, media, or things in this panel. I may sing. I sung the last time I did this panel, so he was there. That might happen again, I don't know. So I might sing. Nor does anything I mention or say mean to cause fan strife. I'm a little old school, so I have somewhat unpopular opinions. So if I say something that like causes fan strife, I don't mean it personally. I'm legitimately just old. I'm old and slightly change averse. So I do not mean it personally. It is not meant to cause a fan war. I do not want a fan war. I, served my time on the fan front lines. I fought for my ship. I took many cannon holes, and then I docked and walked away. But, as you can see by this lovely box, my ideas and my opinions are my own. I have a degree in something, so I do have fairly somewhat decent opinions and ideas. I'm entitled to those. I am a woman and I am entitled to my opinions, as you are all of yours. So those, you can't own an idea. I think that's silly. I'm not going to trademark an idea, but they are my own, so that's why you're here. So let's talk about fandoms. And I'm going to do my best to make this as fun as humanly possible. So what's a fandom? You guys have a pretty good idea what a fandom is, right? I really hope so. That's why there's actually not a real answer to it. But basically a fandom, for the effective purposes, is a community of people that all decided to be awesome together. We all decided to be awesome together, and whether that awesome is comics, or TV shows, British TV shows, anime, manga. I separate them because there are some people that are determined to just read black and white books. I'm okay with that, but, I do like my pictures moving sometimes and with delicious music. But we're all a part of communities, and I use community because that's why I stay in this world, because we are a community. And when I can talk to friends at 3 o'clock in the morning who are fictional characters that I'm crying about, that is a community. That is in a lot of ways closer than I am to my actual family. So we all stick together, but because of that, there do sometimes tend to be some issues with that, because in a lot of ways we are all like a family that get together for a massive family reunion multiple times a year, and and we all have to pretend like we all like the same things.
And plus you get strangers that come to you like, you seen last year. It's like, I talked to you for like maybe 2 seconds and now we're best friends.
Right. That kind of weirds me out because so spoiler, I'm a tiny bit of an introvert. So people that like recognize me from like years, like I stay away. But come to my panel, but like poke. So yeah, we get together and it's like a big family. Honestly, it's like a gathering of like the horseshoe crabs. It's epic. It destroys a lot of things and it's messy. But then we all leave. We all return to the ocean and we're not seen again for another 100 years. And then we all scuttle across en masse and rub against each other, make a mess. Everything's a sticky, smelly mess. And then we recede back into the ocean. I just ruined con for this row was just like, but it's accurate, and that's why it's awful. It's spot on, and that's why it's terrible. So being a fan is like really the bestest thing in the world. It's the bestest thing. I think really only like unicorns giving birth to like hippogriffs is the next most magical and bestest thing. I don't know why that would happen, but you know, Harry Potter. It actually is kind of rough, and it's amazing because when I think of like all the years that I've been a fan, it's been a really, really long time. I had my first like anime experience when I was like 6, and it was like a Spirit Quest, and I saw Dragon Ball for the first time, and I remember like this is something that is so radically not what I'm watching. There was a kid, he had a tail, there was a cloud who beat up a pterodactyl and then ate it. It was just so radically not Bugs Bunny. And I swore allegiance, like Crowley, like I swore allegiance, like I don't know what the hell this is, but I'm devoting my life to it. And I did, and that was many, many years ago. So today we're gonna talk, because as cool as this is, as much as I love having these talks with you guys, we are people that have to be in the real world. I know come Tuesday I have to go back to an office job. And while my boss will feign interest very briefly about the weekend that I had, he does not need to go into detail about how much I loved that one Pearl cosplayer's wig. He does not care, and that is okay. So why do you think we have to have a conversation about being a fan and separating us? Oh, that's why. Is this not the most accurate model of a fan parade? It's amazing because being a fan really, it's like, if you ever watch Crash Course or like old Vlog Brothers videos, John Green and Hank Green have this little group called Nerd Fighters. And Nerd Fighters are people made of bones and tissues. They're just made of awesome. And that's kind of what being a fan is. It like replaces all the human parts of you and like supplants it with feels for fictional characters, ships that you're willing to fight to the death over, and angst. Lots and lots of angst over a variety of things. So this is why it's actually very complicated to go through life with a brain like this, because the world is far more interesting. Watching the news is actually a lot like this for me now. Watching the news is just like that. It's either that or Scandinavia in the world, but like when they have like broad headlines like, France has talks with England. Yeah, they talk every night. He invades to go like mess up with his sewing. Like this is my brain 90% of the time, like watching the news. Like, oh, okay, cool. And like your boss can't understand, your mom can't understand. No one understands why you're laughing on the train. They don't get it. They're not in your head. Like anyone that's like I ride the bus to and from work, and like I will crack up because like the opening to Space Dandy will come on. Like they don't see dandy pelvic thrusting in my head. They don't know what's going on. They don't need to, but they don't know. They don't understand, and that's okay. So as fans, we are migratory creatures. So I'm going to do my best Sir David Attenborough voice. So you see, the wild fan of the species fan of the genus slight angst. Mild angst in the subfauna of OTP canon. Has 3 main habitats. I group school and work because they're very important. I think work is incredibly important because of work, I can be human. Home, and we'll actually have two different categories of home, because even though many of us are adults, you still have a family somewhere that might want to talk to you. Subjective.
Christian families?
They
call me sometimes.
Yeah, mine calls sometimes too. She actually, I was told good luck today. So that was kind of like, thank you for acknowledging me.
It's been 2 months.
And then we have app play. We'll discuss app play, because I know that's very, very broad. I don't mean like we all go home and play Twitch. I mean, if you do, cool, but like that's not what I meant. So let's look at school and work. And these are basically just like survival tips. Like I want you guys, if anything, to take away that these are just very, very general like tips and tricks. First and foremostly, be professional. You know, the workplace or the classroom is not necessarily the time to bring the waifu pillow. You laugh, but people do this. You laugh because you've seen it and it's awful. Yeah. Like, don't carry the TV that has, like, you know, the show playing on. You don't bring that. Don't be in class, like, straight up on Crunchyroll. Stop. Don't do that. It's just not fair to anyone. So, like, I hate that I still have to say these things, but, like, honestly, guys, leave Sonico at home. Don't figure build at work unless that's your job. You know, this is not, I can't take my sewing machine and my cosplay to the office. I wouldn't. Just be professional. If you don't think that you can, I'd rather you not. And if you are in a place where, like, you're at the art institute and you're working on fashion design, well then yeah, make cosplay at school. But if you can't, then don't. And that's okay. That's what home is for. Context is incredibly important. I think one of the big reasons why fans look so radically other is that we do not provide context to outside people. If I go outside with this shirt, I cannot expect everyone that walks up to me to have the same level of investment as me. And I think, unfortunately, we have a problem with that. We're offended when people aren't instantly on the same level as us. And that can be very, very difficult. So providing context is great. And I say context because if you can at least rope in something that's similar. So like, I was actually a part of a research symposium my senior year. And all my professor knew that I loved anime. She knew I loved Japan. Necessarily anime. Like, oh, those Asian cartoons. Yes, those Asian cartoons. So she's like, I actually really didn't want to do anything anime because I thought that was cliche. I was also running the anime club, so I thought it was cliche to do an anime, you know, research project. And she said, no, you should. So my actual research project was Japanese media as a means of cross-cultural communication. How fancy does that sound? Is that not very fancy? So, context was great. It wasn't just me throwing, you know, pictures of Kiki's delivery service at people. I actually had to write a 50-page research paper. It was intense. I had to present it. I had to argue my thesis. And to do that, I had to add context. Treat it like any other cartoon. Did you watch Bugs Bunny as a kid? Most boomers will say yes. Well, this is our Bugs Bunny. It might involve girls in tiny skirts and laser beams being shot out of eyes and kids punching pterodactyls. But you know what? It's no worse than Bugs Bunny in drag, smoking cigarettes, and like shooting Elmer Fudd in the face. Honestly, I think Sailor Moon is probably more wholesome. Just being honest, I think I can find more morality in Naruto than I could in like a Daffy Duck cartoon. So, context is great, and context can be anything. Actually, I had a boss who was very into comics. So that was like a good segue, like, oh, Batman? Well, I mean, kind of like Batman. Sasuke Uchiha is basically Batman. So, cool, right?
Murder the world.
Yeah. I mean, Sasuke did his head, and then he got to and Shippuden, and then he chickened out, because he's Sasuke. I told you unpopular opinions. You knew what you were getting into.
I agree with you. I hate that little bastard.
Naruto, that is an unfair and biased opinion. Be nice, guys. So remember that point about being professional and like understanding that not everyone's going to be on your level? Then you cannot be a jerk about it when someone is not on your level. I mean, you can, but we're not going to be as close of friends. I think it's very, very important to, especially in a situation where you are sort of the underdog, you have to kill them with kindness. It is necessary. If I walk around my house with this and my aunt doesn't understand, I cannot be angry at that. And I have to meet it with a certain level of kindness. And that is how I found is the best way to get things done, is generally just being chill about it. Answer questions when they happen, don't force anything down anyone's throat, and just be chill about it. And then look for similarities everywhere. I mean, I mentioned Batman mostly because Batman's right in front of me and I really like Batman. I mean, it's a good beacon. But look for similarities anywhere you can. I think we also tend to think of our fandoms as very monolithic, don't we? We tend to think of our fandoms as very singular and very monolithic. And it's like, I mean, you could argue that Supernatural is basically any other sitcom-y thing. I mean, basically Supernatural is like a somewhat magical version of Beverly Hills 90210. It's basically a magic version of Dawson's Creek. Let's just be honest.
Hotter men.
Debatable to some. I'm really only in it for Crowley. That's really the only reason why I watch. I'm very much just hoping that Crowley notices me. Like, I press myself to the TV every night, and I'm like...
My soul is yours.
I signed my contract away earlier, so just waiting for that, waiting for that confirmation email. It'll come. So look for similarities, and honestly, guys, a little bit of common sense can go so far. Again, don't be the kid who brings the waifu to work. Do not put Sonico in your cubicle. She doesn't belong there. But you can add personal touches. Like actually in my office, I actually have a mini flipping table, so whenever I get angry, I can flip it over. My boss doesn't understand why I have a tiny table, but he doesn't have to know. The table actually has a name. His name is Shuji. So I can flip him over, my boss just hears a little click, and then the moment's done. It's great. So like I'm also not saying like don't be yourself, because I feel like that's what people get when I say that. No, be yourself because you are amazing and I love you and you love you, and that's what's important. But not every place is the right place. And that's usually why we go so hard and so crazy here. Is because like, I can be myself! And you can like shed your mortal clothes and transform into the beautiful cosplay butterfly that you are. And like Mothra, spread your fan feels all over the place. So we pack so much into these few days. And it's like, no, you can be yourself everywhere else. Just, yeah, by flipping tables and that kind of stuff. But you have to just kind of shrink it down. Any questions on this? We good? Cool. So here's the fan at home, and this is the non-supported edition, because not everyone is super cool with this. A lot of parents still think it's 80% porn, and not that they're necessarily wrong, but...
So is everything else.
Yeah, so is, yeah.
My dad thinks it's like 90% weirdness. He doesn't think it's porn. He thinks it's just me trying to fit in another country. Like, I am not trying to...
Well, I am, yes. There's actually a great term for that. It's called cultural abandonment. So...
My mom tries to take my stuff over.
I'm sorry.
I have been to Japan and I'm very happy to go home afterwards.
Again, it's cultural abandonment. I'm still here. I think I've shown my allegiance. I think I've shown where my ties lie. But not every family is going to be chill with this, with all the hair colors and the not always being your gender and the putting whiskers on your face.
Singing theme songs.
No hate. Yeah, singing theme songs in the morning. And actually, for a while, I had my showers timed to the opening theme of Italia. So my mom was just very, very worried why I was yelling something about Marukai Tachikyu. Just very concerning. Boku Italia. It's like, you can stop now. So, if you are in a non-supportive home, which again, most of us are adults, but I mean, you still interact with your family eventually. You have Thanksgiving is coming up.
Don't
I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with it either. But have a conversation. I think the worst thing that my family did with that was not letting me explain why I liked it. They didn't give me an opportunity to say I'm not just looking at the porn. I am still kind of, well, I had awful friends. I was this pure vanilla girl, and then I found someone's book of hentai. It's like, hey, I hear you like Inuyasha. Yes, click, click, oh God. What is Shishamaru doing? To win. So I started off this pure virginal flower and just obliterated tragically. So, yes.
At least it wasn't Axel screwing Roxas.
I'm very fine with that. I'm more fine with that than I think. You can come in. Oh, okay, never mind. You're a valuable and important person, and I treasure you. So have a conversation, guys. Especially now that we are all adults. Just have a talk. Just sit, this is me. It feels like coming out of the closet. It's kind of weird. It's like, Mom, I'm a cosplayer. And like you peel off the clothes, and there's like a unitard, like the Iwatobi Swim Club jacket. There's like 10 different fandoms on you. But it's like, this is who I really am, Mom. Do you love me now? And then
if you're really animated, then you'll pull off the normal clothes and the costume underneath will be bigger and bulkier.
yeah, that's usually how it goes. And there's like a wig that detached somehow. And your hair is 10 different colors. There's like your Village Allegiance headband underneath somewhere. You have your bleach uniform. You have all of it supported. And then most importantly, here's the thing. It's like when I go home, I still stay at home. Respect house rules. I don't bring gravitation home with me. I wish I could. I wish I could bring the mega mixes home. Just pin up like, you coming out for Thanksgiving dinner? Not right now. But respect house rules. If your family's not cool with it, don't. Like I have an aunt who has my little cousin. She's not super okay with it. She doesn't like it around the kid. I respect that because now I'm 25, so most of the stuff I watch is horrifying. So, it's like I'm 25 now, so most of the stuff I watch is So I respect her house rules when she says, hey, don't scar your little cousin for life. So just respect those rules, and then go out as much as possible, which is what I do. I go out all the time, and then we watch anime somewhere else. And then find support. If any of you guys are in a situation where you are not getting support at home, reach out. You'll actually have all of my social media links. You can reach out to me. I'm fine with that. I'm okay, like 3 o'clock in the morning Twitter message, my mom's being a bitch. Okay, what's up? It's like, what's up? You're not even gonna get a who are you? It's like, okay, what do you need, sweetheart? Like, I will try, because I know high school was rough. High school was, I know, wow, I triggered, sorry. High school was rough. I get it. So if you guys are in this situation, even as adults, because even as adults we need support sometimes. Like I know, like I would love to reach out. Like, does this costume make me look like I ate the girl who was supposed to be wearing it? Like I would love to like talk to my family, like have like an objective conversation. Like, no, seriously, I just sewed my fingers together. Should I go to the doctor or just try to thumb dial 911? But if you feel like you need that support, I will personally take the responsibility, and if you need it, I am here for you. You may all now collectively all. Thank you. My ego thanks you. Now, I use support in 2 different ways. Why do you think I use support in 2 different ways?
Supportive means they kind of understand it, but it can also mean that they don't understand anything of what you're doing. They don't understand why you like it, but they're okay with the fact that you do. Like, okay, that's you.
It's supportive in 2 different ways, because what I find with con parents, you're not wrong, I'm sorry. I'm acknowledging you. You are not wrong. What I find with con parents is it either goes 2 ways. It's either I have no idea why you're here, but but I'm going to help you and just shadow you and let you do this. Or the one that is like smothering their kids in costumes and the kid is miserable and they're an accessory and they hate it. But they want to just go in the corner and read a manga, but like the parent is trying too hard. Truthfully, when I was younger, I needed a supportive household. Just, okay, you do your Asian stuff. Be home before dark. Don't talk to any strangers. Don't accept any wooden nickels. Like, that would have been great. I really needed that hands-off approach because I know when I got that, you're not allowed to do this. Well, screw you. I'm going to go find the Gravitation remixes. You're not going to let me watch Full Metal Alchemist? I'll show you what I can watch. I'll show you. And it's amazing what happens. Like, we really one up. As soon as your parents take away the vanilla stuff, it's like, well, now you've given me no choice. And if that's what you need in either situation, like some people really need the like overbearing, like, I'm sewing your costume for you, wow, it's on your skin. like some people need that, and that's fine. More power to you. I don't need that much attention from anyone alive, so I really am cool with the hands-off approach. Again, though, if you feel like you need someone overbearingly supporting you, I will. Does this costume make me look terrible? Yes, it does, but I can help. But again, a lot of the same rules apply. Context is very, very important. Don't just disappear. I made that mistake a lot. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go study with friends for 5 days and I'm taking 3 suitcases. Don't just do it. Don't do that. It's like, what are you guys studying? AP, chemistry finals. But you didn't bring a book. Bye! Don't do that. Don't just ghost on your family or even like your significant other. Like if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that doesn't understand this stuff, like don't just, honey, where are you going? You took all the luggage. Like you have like the trunk from Harry Potter on the top of the car and like all the dogs. It's like, honey, I have to go on a journey. And unfortunately, it's a journey that I must go on alone. But here's the spare key. I'm gonna need you to water the ficus, and I will see you in 5 days. And then ride off into the sunset. Like, don't do that! That's awful! It's like, you're a monster if you do that to your significant other. Don't just ghost. Like, just say, hey, I'm going to an anime convention. What's anime? Stuff. Sometimes context is a very, very loose word. Sometimes a small amount of context is the right amount of context. Again, I think most of my family doesn't have a broad understanding of what anime is. Like, oh, it's Pokemon. Yes, it is Pokemon. I am doing Pokemon. Pokemon is what I'm here. Can you guys vouch for the camera? Is this not Pokemon?
Yes.
Thank you. So context to a certain level. You don't have to explain everything, just enough to leave the house. And if they do press, go ahead and explain. I truthfully think, again, if you take some of the monolith out of it and you just say flatly what it is, they're going to give you a lot less hell. What is Full Metal Alchemist? Well, you see, it's about this kid who makes a really bad decision and then just keeps making bad decisions and ruins everyone's life around him because he keeps making bad decisions. Oh, and there's like some alchemy and great music and really, really hot guys.
Do not do what I did and show them more on High School Coast Club.
That's actually a great starter. No one will understand anything.
She shrieked.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you know, if they do press, I feel like if you just explain 8 times out of 10, that works. By the time you're at the 2 times it doesn't work, you could have called Rumiko Takahashi and had her explain Inuyasha and she wouldn't understand it. Like you could call, you know, Kishimoto, it's like, I need you to explain Naruto to my dad. And if he doesn't get it by then, he's never going to, which is not happening. And then boundaries. Again, don't just ghost on your significant others. Don't just disappear for your family. Don't just disappear from work. My boss knows where I am. He knows I'm at an anime convention. I did all the responsible things to take time off. I didn't just, bye! And then like hop on a clay bird out the office window and fly away. I didn't do that. I filled out paperwork. And when it said reason, vacation, AnimeFest.
Then kick off on a toad.
Yeah, and then you pick your magical totem item and ride off on it. I don't know. I don't think Deidara would let me ride his bird. That sounded kind of dirty. I'm sorry. For the record,
I don't think anyone at this convention can use the flying nimbus.
no. Well, I'm not so sorry, so he would not let me ride his magic bird. So, ha!
I'm just glad I leave the house.
Yeah, truthfully. So just have those boundaries. They're very, very important. And they're very, very important for us as well. And wow! Sorry? Yeah, cool thing is you guys can still hear me because you have a lovely AD person. Yeah, I'll thank her on your way out. On your way out, come on now.
Still your time.
It's only getting louder. So, this is going to be fun, guys. We are going to have so much fun now. If you have non-fan friends, which some of you might, I actually have a few of them. Yes? I have a lot of those too. So this is at play. And at play is anything like this. Whether it's a convention or anything like that, we are at play. Is this not play for us? Literally, there is rave music going on. It doesn't get much more at play than this. So, if you do have non-fan friends, which I do have more than a few, here's what you should do. Be open. Just admit that this is what you like. You can't expect them to understand it, but they're still your friend for some reason, so cool. Again, look for similarities. If they like something else, if they like Avengers, if they like something else, look for those similarities, and you might actually be able to foster a fan friend. And when you can, preach the gospel. Being a fan is like an actual religion. If you force it down anyone's throat, they're going to hate you. Don't open the door and then hoorah throw. Don't do that to people. It's overwhelming and they're scared. Just let them have that moment. So, if you can't get them into it, be chill with it. But don't shove manga down throats. You're gonna scare them away. You're gonna scare yourself because then you're gonna get a text message what the hell was that? You hit me over the head with a book. You're trying to shove one of those TM discs from Pokemon down my throat so you hope I absorb it. It's not working. I can't learn fly. Any questions about that? No? We all have nothing but fan friends? Oh.
I have my friends, but they're just cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, most non-fan friends are pretty chill. It's actually very surprising.
But there's a lot of things. There's comics, there's movie shows I like.
There are. Right, and that usually means anything. I mean, I'm anime heavy because, I have Edward Elric on my boob. So, clearly, yes.
Yeah, I'm a huge brony, and I got a lot of friends that aren't. They give me shit sometimes, so I know how it is.
If I'm allowed one unpopular opinion, bronies can be a little intense sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you are, but as a group, they can be a little intense. Hitalia fans, I'm one, but we can be a little intense. I think, wow, yeah. I think, so there's a lot of lore and cloud around that word. So the best thing I can do is just do you, just keep being chill. Because I love a lot of shonen, and a lot of my friends around me really ew, why are you watching that stuff? And it's because I'm a 15-year-old boy on the inside still. So I like when boobs have two different animators and there's nothing but punching. I really enjoy that sometimes. So just be you, be chill. That's the best thing that I can say. And truthfully, if your friends are still giving you shit, they're not your friends.
Do not do what I did. However, this has worked. I had a naked picture of Itachi on my phone that I showed every single person.
I can't go any further. I just want you to know that.
Walking out to anyone how not to do this.
Firstly, that's sexual harassment. So that's actually a felony. I would not encourage. We have a whole 18+ section, so I'm going to let you pause on that. We have a whole section about that. But don't do that. You And it's not like what rainbow makes you think it is. It's way worse. It's not assassination classroom. Prison is not fun.
Not just your friends.
I don't. We'll wait till we get to the 18 plus section, because that's a touchy subject. That is 3 puns.
2.
I have. Thank you, merciful. So preach the gospel to those that will listen. Just don't shove down anyone's throat. They're not interested in Naruto. They're never going to be fucking interested in Naruto. I'm sorry your story is not universally appealing. I'm sorry. You win some, you lose some. And here's the amazing thing. Some non-fan friends are amazing. Like, actually, I took this picture at a convention that I was at, and I had a friend comment, and she was like, "Who is that?" So I responded, like, "I don't know who that is." And it's like, and she actually said one of the nicest things in the world. "I don't know who that is, but I'm happy that you're happy." Yeah. It's like, thank you. Like, that's really, wow, damn. But that's true. I mean, I don't need you to understand that this is Rin Matsuoka from Free. I don't need you to get that. What I need you to understand is that I am creaming in that photo. Because the background of this photo is I have stalked this Rin all day. Because I'm a cosplayer as well, so I'm like super like passive aggressive with photos. Because I know how much like I hate like being in the bathroom. It's like, can I take a picture of you? It's like, can I pee? So like I'm super passive aggressive now with photos. I am thirsty. I am hunting this Rin down. And finally my kohai grabs me and he's like, "Woman, photo with him." And he's like, "My senpai's been trying to catch you all day." And then Rin looks at me and he's like, "Do you want to make a heart with our hands?" And like my uterus falls out. And I'm like, "Yes!" Like my uterus just escaped and it's like, "Yes, please." So that's why he's kind of whatever, because it's like, but I've never been happier. And I can't expect everyone to understand that. That is only funny in this room. If I told that to like my grandma, she'd have a heart attack and die. That would, well, you killed your grandma because you told her that you're a damn pervert.
I got 2 Facebooks.
I don't do that just because I also don't take a lot of photos. The beauty of being a panelist is I usually don't have time to take a lot of pictures of people, though they are going to wonder why I sold my soul to a man in a black suit. So you can have really, really cool non-fan friends. I think we tend to villainize non-fan friends sometimes. Like, "Well, you don't like Supernatural, so screw you." And it's like, not everyone has to like Doctor Who. It's okay. You can all still be friends. It's all right. Be chill with them about it. Now when you're at play with other fans, and this is one that I'm going to harp on just a little bit, because we can be intense. We can be a little intense. And we can be most intense with each other. Because again, you're like the horseshoe crab, and we have a year's worth of things we want to say. We have a year's worth of ideas and shits and feels and shows we hate and don't hate. So when you're at con, or at any time, you know, you're at a signing, you're at Funimation is sponsoring something, they didn't pay for this, it was just the first thing to come to mind. Crunchyroll is doing something, Sentai is doing something, now we're covering this. So, wherever you are, it's probably going to be con, but wherever you are, who else has been con? Make friends. Oh my god, make friends. I've seen people get in the elevator say, "Oh my god, we're wearing a shirt from the same series." And then the next question is, "What is your OTP?" And then if they clash, by the end of the elevator ride, they're on opposite ends of the elevator and they're no longer talking. And it's like, I never want to be that person, because I've fought with people over ships, but you are talking about 2 fictional characters smashing privates together. And you are willing to not talk to an actual human being because of that. You are willing to shun a live human being who possibly have maybe found you interesting because you don't agree of the level of 2 fictional characters touching naughty places. I want you to marinate in that for a minute. And I make fun of that because I've done it. I can make fun of it because I've been there and it's weird and it's scary sometimes. But make friends. Embrace that not everyone likes what you like and be able to have a conversation about it. Second point, learn something new. I think so many of us stay in a box. We have the things that we like, and we don't at least try. Now the cool thing is, I still stay in my box, but I at least peek out, like I have a little hole, and I can watch other things and judge them from like a periscope like the Onceler. You know, I can look out and judge and see, but try to learn something. I feel like if I don't learn something at a con, then like, what was the point of me going? And even if that learning is just reaffirming what I already knew. But try to take something away. Even if that is, that chubby black girl in that one panel said nothing but nonsense. I'm fine with that. But then you learned that you found me nonsensical, which is fine, I usually am. And then just enjoy the moment. I think also we're kind of bad about that because many of us are a little on the shy, introverted side. We have a really, really hard time enjoying the moment. Hi.
Hi. I have a friend of mine who, he likes a lot of anime. And he's from California where, you know, hang out with all his friends or whatever, movie Texas. And I think he's a cool guy and everything. I keep telling him, come to con, man, I'm always going. How long, man, I'm like, dude, you need to make more friends. Like, you have the ability, you know more anime than I do. And, you know, you'd be great talking to other people to make more friends. And my problem is, how do I try to bring them out more? What, do you have any idea?
Let me tell you one thing. Con is scary as fuck. This is scary and overwhelming as fuck. I'm going to put you on spotlight, but this is actually his first anime convention. And he has spent most of this con, like, attached to me, like, who are these people in brightly colored clothes, and why are they speaking a language I don't understand? Even if you have the knowledge, con is a monolithic thing. Start small. Take it to a small one. Take it to a one-day, mini A-con, A&T. Start really small. Go to a, like, Studio Movie Grill, Alamo Draft House. They have anime nights. Start there. Start with events. You can work your way up to con. But con this is a lot. This is an event. Trust me, I am exhausted after every convention. So it's a, even if you have all the knowledge, actually having all the knowledge is scarier. Because then you're afraid of offending someone, which is very possible. Which is why I gave a trigger warning before I started this panel. So start small. That's what I would do. Also, we have a lovely online community. Guys, do we not have like the best online communities? Not just Tumblr, but we have some fan-tab online communities. Facebook, the Instagrams. Actually, DeviantArt is still kind of a thing, apparently. It's like, that's apparently still a place that isn't just porn. It's still mostly porn. Yeah. It's also a lot of like slash fics, like really specific slash fics. Like, to the point that like it's set to a theme song slash fics. I wasn't expecting that. But start with that. Start with events, start with live people, and if live people are scary, then I move to like try to find some online support. And then you can rope them into maybe do like a day of con. Pick like Friday or Sunday where it's chill, and by this time we're all like, hey guys, you know, that anime that last night, and we're just all calmed down. Don't take them on Saturday.
Some people are just introverted.
Yes, I
They love
am.
it as much as you do.
Yes.
But, you know,
We don't show it.
people can make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you continuously pressure somebody
It's really
to do
bad.
one of these things, you will push them away, and they're, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point where you got to figure out they love it.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't necessarily love the social
Part of it.
The social part of it. You know, they sit at home and they watch it, and they're happy.
Right.
And you don't have to. I've got a friend like that, and I'm married to someone like that. So
I love nerd love. Can I just say that? Like, as cheesy and sappy as that is, I adore nerd love, so. I'm sorry your Instagram really makes you feel comfortable, but I really love that.
she's a trooper. She's made it through 3 nights so far.
That's more than I have. Good work.
And so yeah, it's just, but you know, she's got a choice. She's stuck with me. But like I've got friends who will never do this.
Right.
They don't like waiting in lines.
Right.
They They don't like sitting on the floor.
Right.
They don't like the smells. They just don't have the power to go through it. And like, even if they love the subject, they just don't like it.
Well, and I think we're so taught as fans that like con is our like Vatican pilgrimage, and it's just not. Like, there's no one way to be a fan. If you take anything from this, take that there's not one way to be a fan of one thing. Con is not meta. It's okay if you don't like going. There are some conventions I will never go to again because I don't like the oppressive smell of funk, axe, and sadness. I have one question over here first, and I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay, mine was totally different. We were 16. I was more of a fan. She was more inverted. I threw her out there, and now...
Well, I don't recommend that, because that can actually really recoil on you, and you can actually lose friends really fast. You are very lucky that it's a one-shot thing, and it'll never happen again. You look lovely, by the way. Yes, sir.
I was agreeing with exactly what he said just earlier. Like earlier today, I'm naturally introverted myself, but I forced myself to try and make friends and introduce myself. But
right.
I was cosplaying earlier today as Kirito from SAO.
Woo!
And he said that I met up with a kid over lunch. He was here by himself, actually.
Aww.
And I mean, I'm here by myself, but but that's because I'm in Texas. That being said, he was
Howdy.
Sorry?
Howdy, welcome to Texas.
Oh, thank you. He was basically saying, well, once I got to talk to him, I found out he was really introverted also, and I said, well, maybe after school or something, you could start an anime club. That's what I did when I was in high school. I called out an anime club. And sure enough, when I did it, I built it, they came. They just, out of the woodwork, people I didn't know. They suddenly came out of the woodwork. And he said, oh yeah, there's already one in my school. I've never been to it, so I find it way too hard to talk to them. I'm like, wait, how many people are there? And he said that there's about 30 or 40.
Oh, good school.
That's a decent size hand. I'm like, okay, here's what you do. Next meeting, just go over there and you don't even have to say anything. Just show up.
Just go. Yeah, I mean, as much as you guys might not believe this, because I'm on stage and there's lights around me, I'm actually painfully introverted. Because introversion doesn't just mean that you can't, it just means that I don't get power from this. I am exhausted. I am exhausted now. I will be exhausted when I leave. I am exhausted answering your questions. I love you all, but I'm very tired. So introversion doesn't always, it's not a negative. So that's maybe the second thing that you take away. Introversion is not negative. You are not wrong for being that. But it does make you put into perspective that convention might not be your mecca. And that's okay. I pretty much explode all of the extroversion in these 3 days, and then, like Umaru-chan, I put my shroud back on and go read free doujins. That's what happens. When I go home, I revert back to my larval form and inject pib into my veins and don't talk to anyone. But I explode all the extroversion out in con and then go back and like become a pupae. And like my cocoon is made of yaoi panels. And I just stay there in that chrysalis until I have to do this again. So guys, let's just enjoy the moment. You got to hear me be very vulnerable and admit that I'm very, very introverted. But I get to do this all the time by paneling. I love this. I love talking with you guys. I love sharing stories. I love hearing stories. I love your smiling faces. I love when you laugh at my jokes. I love when you cringe because I said something cringy. It's okay. I say a lot of cringy things. And it's pretty damn sweet that I get to do this. Now let's talk about some 18 plus stuff. This is what happens when you accidentally send the wrong link to someone. Because everyone has had that moment where you're still up in the hentai database, but the copy paste is still on the clipboard.
Sorry. Am I right? Alright, that's a fish on top.
Yes, sir, that is a fish rubbing against a human man.
That's what it's from. Okay.
It's a Tumblr post. Hey, heard you talking shit. Come at me, bro. I'll never be on Tumblr. This is actually stolen from a Tumblr Facebook page. I don't actually tumble. I find it scary. what happens when you send the wrong thing to the wrong person. Yes.
Okay, to clarify something, because I realize I made a big mistake.
It's
You took
okay.
it wrong.
I didn't take it wrong, the world took it wrong.
He is not completely naked. Okay, he just...
Okay, pause. If you have to rationalize, it was still too far. I don't mean to put you on blast, I love you, but if you have to backtrack and like OJ press Simpson, like...
He doesn't have a shirt on, that's it.
Oh, that's not... Oh wow, you just overhyped that. Like, naked is like, woof!
I am tired.
Okay, I was scared. I was scared like showing Itachi's penis to people, like, look at it! Look at it! That's not what happened. Oh God, he's back. They heard Itachi's penis and they wanted to join the party. Oh God, it got louder. So this is what happens when you accidentally copy-paste over the wrong link. And it's happened to everyone. Don't lie, it's happened to you. You accidentally sent over that one bad Attack on Titan flashback where like Aaron's getting pegged by like Levi or something and there's a mop involved. We all...
I'm sorry, did you say there was a mob involved? Or...
Yes, like something you clean floors with, but in Aaron's butt. MOP, yes, a cleaning device that is used for floors.
I didn't know if you said that or M-O-M as in Mary. Mob.
It's actually both because it's equally awful. But you're able to draw your own, conclusions. Both are terrible, just for the record. But we all know we've sent over that one link once. It's happened to everyone. It's actually kind of sad. But here's what happens so we can avoid this. Hi. So just in case you all don't know what 18 plus stuff is, really I just wanted a purple triangle. So here's a purple triangle. Technically it encompasses all these things. And I mention these things, like especially girls, we're kind of bad about like yaoi and like shonen ai. We don't really consider it porn. So we share it very liberally and very freely. And it scares people, apparently.
I should say we hear it.
I didn't want to say that because guys were a bit of a denial about it. Like, no, they're just holding hands. Holding hands. And holding hands.
Just like the two guys are.
Yeah, just like those two guys are. They're just really, really good friends. So good friends that they have to hold each other's private parts. So we're unfortunately a little bit bad about that. So I hark on that just because, like, I know I'm a yaoi fangirl and I can be awful. Just terrible. I don't know why my friends put up with me sometimes. Because we can be very, very liberal with it because we don't attach it to the rest of the triangle. But please know it's a part of the rest of the triangle. So just remember, not everyone is into this stuff. And I think that's very surprising. More people than I like admitting are into this stuff. When I was running a club in high school, like the king jock came to me because I had to go to all the student council meetings because I was president. And it's like, oh yeah, you have that club. Can you give me some of that Asian porn? Like, I'm not a direct link to Japan that I can just funnel you tentacle hentai. I'm not an ambassador to anything, but thank you. So more people know about this than you think. I think that's the other thing. We assume we're kind of on the DL about this stuff, but we're not. People at least know that there's, for some reason, an octopus and a snake lady, and we don't really know why, but there just is.
They made a clear reference to it in Family Guy. So.
Yeah, if Family Guy is making a joke about it, it's obvious. Was that a burn on Seth MacFarlane? I think it was. Please don't hurt me, Mr. MacFarlane. I like some of your stuff. So guys, be responsible. Whether you're at work or, and I hate saying this, whether you're at work or at home, work is not the place to look at this. It's called not safe for work for a reason. But it's a common sense thing, and I have to say it because I've had friends like, oh my god, my boss is mad because I read this doujin in the office. Like, well, are you surprised? Or like, I had like Kohai when I was in college, because I ran a club in college as well. It's like, my teacher got mad because like, I pulled out a manga. It's like, well, first of all, that manga was nothing but girls like aggressively rubbing against tables, and you're in class. Stop! So just be responsible. Don't.
What about Cookie Awesome?
enough jokes of themselves in the past, what, 10 years? So just be responsible, guys. I know this sounds like really remedial, but there's something to be said about it. Just be a little responsible. Be understanding. If your friend does find his stash, so actually I have a bookshelf, and there's like a false, like a couple books, and then you pull those back, and then there's all the galley. I'm an adult and I live by myself, and I am still borrowing this stuff.
She's not lying.
Like, you lift a pillow, I think like Maiden Rose is still under my pillow. Mostly because I'm ashamed of Klaus von Holstadt. No, not angry Germans. But, so I mean, just be understanding that this is not for everyone, and actually it can be really, really scary to people. So just be actually really, really chill about that. And for the most part, I know I get into this under be responsible, but also keep it private. Like, don't cast this like onto the TV using Chrome. Like, don't like sit in the living room, like flicking through dojins, like while like your mom is trying to like have breakfast in the breakfast nook. Don't do that. Just don't. Don't like hang upside down with a manga, like, and you know, the entry foyer. Just keep that to yourself. I super can't hear you in the back now, I'm sorry.
Just as a notice to anybody who uses like a Chromecast or Apple TV or any sort of streaming device like a Roku, if you have roommates or if you have a family, accidentally ran into this problem and I saved myself very quickly. Make sure you're selecting the correct device to stream on. If you're streaming something that's an NSFW, you don't want it to stream to the wrong device.
Because you will send tentacle cord to your mom's laptop. Because that's what will happen. And your mom's gonna come in, who is Haruka Nanase? And why is this Makoto so angry at him? When in doubt, guys, a little bit of, I don't know what rave has this many periodic stops. It's like a lamest rave. Oh god, I think there's that. Oh, so they're just sound tests. Oh god, it's only going to get worse. Guys, bear with me. Not a pun. When in doubt, guys, common sense. Like, for reals, a little bit of common sense. It goes a really long way. And no one's saying don't be into this stuff. I am, obviously. But like, no one's saying don't. Just don't be dumb about it. So how can being a fan help you in the real world? And I know what you're thinking, this is not Captain Planet, I don't want to help the world, I just want to watch it burn. So,
That's what the ring with the power of fire is for.
don't you have a village to save from your friend that you're actually kind of hot for, but will never accept you because he's too busy lusting for his brother? Shamed out of my panel!
Oh no, there's just this,
Yeah.
Bah!
series panel next door.
Thanks!
Leave your wallet.
And also, we had a big talking out about that. It's all cool now.
You mean your first kiss?
We already had that season 1!
Maybe if some people didn't have red emo eyeballs.
He can go be drama kage somewhere else. So guys, we're pretty damn fantastic. I just gotta say, we're made of pretty much awesome, and that's not even like being weird. We're pretty cool. We just had that. Come on, we're cool as fuck. We are fighting a rave right now, like it is a goddamn monster. It is an angel, and we are fighting it with swords and microphones. So how can this help? We are dual culturalists. I have bosses that think it's adorable that I bow, that I can eat Jell-O with chopsticks.